Well, hello everyone and welcome to fifth grade. I'm Mrs. Illig, one of 3 fifth grade teachers. Welcome to our virtual classrooms. We certainly miss the kids being here at the school. We miss seeing the parents in person, and we can certainly hope that everyone's allowed to come back very, very soon. You all received a copy of our schedule, and it happens to be on the board behind me, where the first thing that your students should be doing in the morning is going to Related Arts. They are expected to log into Related Arts. Some of them are synchronous and some of them are asynchronous throughout the course of the week. Your student does know the schedule, and it's up on our home pages as well. As we have moved through this year, we have talked about some of the expectations that we have for your students. I'm sharing my screen. We've talked to them about being in a productive space, what that looks like, what that sounds like, being prepared and ready. Of course, if they were here in the school, we'd expect them to have all of their supplies. So we're hoping for the very same thing at home. Always be on time. We've encouraged them to make sure their videos are on so we can see their smiling faces, and to mute themselves as they enter the meetings. And just like in the classroom, to raise their hands as they speak. The kids have seen these slides and they are becoming more and more familiar with these concepts. Each of our days start with a morning meeting, and although we're 3 individuals, our meetings look a little bit different, but the concept is still the same. We are looking during our morning meetings to build community, to build relationships with the students, and for them to build a relationship with one another. We're hoping that they are establishing good speaking and listening skills, especially when we're on Zoom. They really have to listen very well. They're learning about one another, we're learning about them, and sometimes we learn things that we can help you as parents with. And always we're teaching social skills, social emotional skills. Some of the concepts we've been through already would be respectfulness, responsibility, and caring. And we have a number of other skills that we're going to cover. I'm going to pass this on over to Mrs. Thomas. She is the she was the ELA teacher. Now we teach all of the subjects. She's going to speak on reading.
Hello. This is the second year we are using the CKLA curriculum for reading and writing. Each day we spend 90 minutes focused on reading, writing, and language. We are using rich literature and informational text. The focus is on students' reading of complex text. Our first unit is on personal narratives. We've already read 2 and are using, and your students will be writing their own personal narrative. Our next unit will be on early American civilization. We will also incorporate a poetry unit and read the adventures of Don Quixote. We will study the Renaissance and the Reformation. Throughout all of these units, we will focus on analyzing text and drawing evidence from them to support our thinking. And your child will become knowledgeable in writing a text-dependent analysis, a TDA, in essay form. We will also have students use amplify.com, where they will work at their own reading levels on reading skills.
Okay, guys. Hi, everybody. I'm Mr. Sorensen. And again, last year, we kind of split it up where Ms. Illig did the science, social studies, Ms. Thomas did the CKLA reading, and I did the math. Well, this year we're doing it all, which is a challenge for some of the teachers also. So, but in math this year, we have 2 books they're going to be using that were sent home. One is your practice and problem solving book, and the other one is your instruction book. So a lot of that stuff will be done with me, guiding them along underneath my Elmo doing the lessons. I think the most important thing about the iReady math to me, because I missed kind of a half a year last year and with remote learning, is the iReady MyPath. And what the MyPath is, they log onto their computer and it teaches them at their own grade level, which is very important because some of my 5th graders are on a 3rd grade level, some are on a 5th grade level. So it kind of gives them a lesson that they can handle and they should have success with. And the more success they have, the more that the levels that they move up to. And hopefully at the end of it all, we'll all be at a 5th grade level and getting ready for middle school. So that's very important. So if you do see your kids working on the computer without any teachers guiding them along, that's what they're doing. and we can check their minutes all the time on our computers. So even though I'm not per se in front of them teaching them the math, I can see if they're getting their minutes in, and I can also see what they're having trouble with. Are they having trouble with geometry? Are they having trouble with measurements? Any of the 5th grade standards, I can see what they're having trouble with, and then we can focus our lessons a little bit more geared to where they're having trouble and to give them some success. So having said all that, and I think also the social studies, guys, is incorporated into CKLA. Am I right, Ms.
Yes.
Thomas? So, yeah,
Yes.
if you don't see a per se social studies lesson, it's usually incorporated with the CKLA or after lunch. A lot of times, most of our heavy learning is done before lunch. And we understand the age group that we're teaching. We understand that it's tough for them to be in front of computers. And again, what Ms. Thomas said, don't panic or worry about technological issues. Okay, we're going to get them all worked out, and we're just going to try to be as patient as we can and provide the best education we can in these unprecedented times. So thank you, everybody. Yep.
In addition,
I missed half a year last year, and it was touch and go if I was going to be here this year, but I'm here. So I'm happy to be here. And we can't wait for the kids to show up. So just be patient and we'll get through this, okay? Thank you,
in
Ms. Hilton.
addition to our major subjects of reading and math, we also are teaching science and social studies. And as Mr. Sorensen mentioned, and Mrs. Thomas, we are covering a lot of the social studies concepts within the reading. We are also using some current events. For example, in the month of September, we covered Constitution Day. We also covered the events of 9/11 through the idea of everyday heroes and the heroes that we have today, rather than focusing specifically on the events of that day, just giving them a sense. So as more and more current events come up, we may have discussions and articles to read about that. With the science, typically, if the students were here, we would be doing three kits, one on environments, one on variables, and a third one on motion and design. So we're adapting those concepts, those same concepts, to teach the children in different formats. Sometimes it'll be articles for them to read. Sometimes we may be doing demonstrations, having some discussion in small groups or in large groups. We have a number of videos we've picked, and we are using the format of readworks.org, where we'll be assigning your students different articles to read that go along with the science. The students have become very adept in figuring out what's next and how to ask a question, and they are receiving badges on their Schoology pages when we find something that's really spectacular. For example, I've given out some perseverance badges for students who keep getting kicked off Zoom through no fault of their own, but they're managing to come back in, and we find them to be very, very resilient. One of the things I like to tell the kids all the time is my statement by Henry Ford: if you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. And we know that these kids can do this. So with that, we say welcome to 5th grade. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact us. Our email addresses are listed on our Schoology pages. Have a great night.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.